Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And before we proceed upstairs, I just wanted to show you that in the kitchen we have this stove here. As you can see, the cursor changes, that you could use to make the dog stew, if you were a monster with no soul, that is. To ultimately, of course, lure the Umber Hulks in the cellars into a different area, but in our case we are going to lure them into the afterlife. And I also wanted to switch this ring of regen, and now we're ready to proceed.
I'll have to find my aunt's bedroom. There's a secret passage within that leads to the cellar entrance.
And yeah, and the cellars are going to be our ultimate destination in this place, but there's still plenty of things to do before that. Going north here would lead us to some doors like this one, for example, that are locked right now, and we need a special key to open them. So we're going to go through here to obtain that key very soon. And we're also approaching a fight with a Yuan-ti mage and some trolls in this next room, actually, right here. And before that fight, I think I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to haste us, I think, so that we can be hasted for that fight, and so that we can have this effect to just clear this whole floor more efficiently. And I think I'm also going to protect Sinashira's buffs now with some immunity to abjuration. And now we can go in. And so here's that Yuan-ti mage, and he actually mentions Torgal, the troll leader, and the final boss in this place. Alright, so he has improved invisibility, mirror images, minor globe, stone skin. We need some detect illusion to get him out. And he actually casts protection from magical weapons. Alright, so in this round at least, he is not going to do anything.
How can I help? Am I glad to be of assistance?
Alright, he's out. And since he has protection from magical weapons, we're going to switch to our normal weapons, which we basically have kept for just such an occasion. So Sinashira has this normal non-magical warhammer, Jaheira has this normal club, we have this normal scimitar for Kirinai, and we have the non-magical mace for Animen. And I think since we're hasted and we generally have, you know, pretty good melee physical damage dealing capabilities, I think I'm just going to go and cut through his stone skins with our normal weapons. And hopefully we're not going to get stuck too much because of these trolls here. Where's Jaheira? Okay, you're here. And we sometimes will still have the weapon ineffective message, but that's from their offhands, from Sinashira's and Kirinai's magical offhands. Alright, we cut through his stone skin, we're already damaging him. And boom! I think he has a contingency with stone skin, or at least has a very good chance of having that, but I think his life might have gone down too quickly for that to actually activate. Alright, so now we're going to switch to our normal weapons and just deal with the trolls here.
I'll certainly try. What is it will be done?
I think also this troll can be a troll that like splits into two smaller trolls, but that didn't activate either. That's kind of pretty unique about this troll, that he just kind of splits in two. Okay, now he did. And so we had to actually finish him off for that to happen. And we can just get rid of these two smaller trolls then. And there's also a text message, I think, or should have been. Like, see, nothing is as it should be. But sometimes there's a little text message saying that he just kind of like splits into. Alright, cool. So now we have more arrows of fire. We have this keep key over here, and this door is not a real door. It's too damaged. Alright, pretty cool.
Speed will be done.
Oh, we have like 4 trolls in here.
What is it?
Wow, this guy just got completely destroyed immediately. I think we might offer them maybe a little glitter dust to make this process a little easier. Because we still have that minor sequencer with the double glitter dust, and I want to use that on Edwin before we rest, because after resting, I have a different plan for his minor sequencer.
Speak your mind. Nature, take the life she gave. Nature, fallen.
Yeah, quickly and
Okay.
without hesitation.
We have some goodies, but while we still... Okay, I was about to say that while we still have haste, I wanted to keep moving, but now that's not the case anymore. This is a place that we're going to explore last. Let's just keep moving.
Yes?
Okay, more trolls. And we have a spirit troll with us here, so let's use our trusty silence from Namara and try to focus our attention on that guy.
How can I help?
Is that all?
Okay, actually we will not do that because Kirinai just got disabled by his greater command,
Yes?
and Anoman was disabled by that as well. Right, but I think now is a pretty good time to use this minor sequencer with double glitter dust on Edwin. Edwin, stop twitching and use it whenever you can. Why is he not using that? Just use it on yourself, man. Alright.
What is it?
Yes.
Am I needed?
I am ready.
Jahira is getting some
I go.
pretty good damage in, or suffering from some pretty good damage of these trolls. I'm just going to kind of use a couple of spells on Edwin because I think we are going to rest soon. And some fights that we're going to do soon are also fights with opponents that are going to have 100% magic resistance. Well, we actually petrified that troll because I misclicked on Chromatic Orb and didn't use the and then use magic missiles.
Death shall take you.
But that's actually not a big deal because trolls don't have any loot on them. Because normally petrifying an opponent would make us lose the loot for that. But that was actually okay in this case. I think there's like one more group I think that can spawn
Yes, it will be done.
around here. Okay, we have our guys back. And we used that second silence. After Kirinai got up, she immediately used that. Right, and here's another group.
Retreat.
Let's switch her to throw some daggers in this situation.
Speak.
It's crowded space.
You wouldn't hurt a lady. Of course. Yes, certainly.
Okay, so now that we have the key, we can open this. And we can open this door as well. And there's going to be a couple more secret
I
passages.
understand. Aside from a few servants, we've seen very few dead. Where are the guards?
They would have fought to the last. My father's bodyguard, Glycus, should have been here in the bedroom, yet I see no body. Well, she mentions Glycus and the lack of bodies. The lack of bodies can probably be explained by the fact that we're attacked by trolls and maybe Yuan-ti also... oh yeah, of course, Yuan-ti also eat humans. There's a scene in Icewind Dale where they're about to feast. But anyway, Glycus is a person that we're actually going to meet very soon. So I guess this was like Lord Dionysus' room,
Whatever you desire.
and since she was expecting Glycus to be there.
It will be done.
Yes, nothing to it.
I'm glad to be of assistance.
Very well.
Speak.
All right.
Certainly.
Here we're going to prepare 2 items with charm that we have available to us, and because Okay, here's that keep key. Here we have some arrows of piercing, wand of cone of cold, and we are going to prepare our nymph cloak, and we are going to prepare our ring of human influence.
I'm waiting.
What can it be now?
Right, so here's Glycus. For the glory of my new master, whose sorcery has shown me the way, I shall destroy you. And yeah, Analia says that he must be charmed. He's one of my father's most loyal guards. He would never do this otherwise. And he is indeed charmed, and we can get rid of it by either charming him back ourselves or using dispel magic. So we can try
Yes?
charming him then. First from range. Okay, that didn't work. Now with our touch, charm. And he saved against that as well. Okay.
Point the sword.
Of course, that's the luck that you get when you're like recording. And now I can't even use mirror images on Senashira or heal her because she just used that
Yes?
This will not take long.
that charm. Okay, let's just have him in range, but let's just not lose all of our buffs. I guess we can have Kirinai here. And it didn't work as well. I think we have
Nature's servant awaits.
one more dispel magic from Jaheira. Let's just save Kirinai this way. Okay, finally. Jesus. That was... I don't remember the last time I was this unlucky with trying to get him. Because, of course, you can kill him. That's going to get you a little bit less experience, but it's going to get you a full plate mail that he's wearing. And pretty much anything else. And some potions that he might have on himself as well. But when it comes to the most important thing that he's carrying, with this outcome here, that we just dispel the charm, he is going to give us the item that we are most interested in. Yeah, and we get more experience for that. I think if you kill him, he's worth 9.5, and we get like 22.5 here. Yeah, you must find the leader of the trolls, Torgal. And if we do so, the rest of his minions will flee. Yeah, he doesn't know too much, it seems. But he says, now we get this plan of Lord Dearnis in regards to the Flail of Ages explained to us directly. Lord Dearnis was looking for a flail that belongs to him. It was disassembled long ago, and the heads spread throughout the keep. I was helping him search when we were captured. He said it had powers of flame and acid and the like, things that would have aided us greatly against the trolls, had we found them in time. I have the first of the heads with me still. You may have it. If you find the other two heads, you could assemble the weapon. Yeah, and he mentions the hidden forge. And he is just not capable of facing them again. So, at least, he's going to, you know, save his life that way. And yeah, so he gives us the second flail head, the one that deals acid damage. So now we need to find one more.
Speak.
So yeah, that's the most important item that he just gives us.
Yes? It will be
And
done.
this last room is just going to be empty.
What is it?
Just going to double check if I looted these chests. I think I did, but... Okay, I actually did. And they are pretty important. They have some good stuff in them. Jaheira. You have now 80 bullets plus 2. That's pretty nice.
Yes?
Anyway, and here I'm just going to teleport our guys to our next destination, which I think is going to be going outside through this passage. Because there's also the outside of the keep that we might explore. And we are already attacked by trolls. Let's actually blog them here and see if there are any spirit trolls among them.
I thought as much.
Just only I could do as much for all in need of a
It doesn't seem like any spirit trolls are casting at us.
Speak.
So I don't think I'm going to use any spells for this. I don't want to, like... Oh, you know what? We can actually kill these ice trolls with a nice cloud kill.
Yes?
There's a Yuan-ti up there. Okay, some of them managed their save versus death against that instant death that cloud kill can provide them with. But that's okay.
What for?
And actually this cloud kill is going to be a little useful still for that Yuan-ti. And once it's not useful to us anymore, there's also another Yuan-ti up there. We will just dispel it with our zone of sweet air from Enaman. I think we're even going to do that right now, so that we don't have to wait it out.
Retreat or fall before me.
Alright.
Yes. What this will not take long.
The stairs here will bring us down there, where that door is.
If it
We
must
might
be done.
open that door, I guess, and demonstrate.
Yes.
There's a few, I think, spawn points that can have some trolls. We'll see if there are any spirit trolls left. I think here this is going to be clear, because they would have joined the fight, I think, if they were in such close vicinity. Alright, and there's also this this place, like I guess on the roof of the keep, to the west there, but it's accessed through this passage.
It will be done.
And there should be just a couple of Yuan-ti here.
What is it? Fine, fine. Just stop pestering me.
What is it? Direct me as you will.
Okay, and basically we have now the whole exterior explored
Yes.
of the keep. Oh, more or less. And now we can basically proceed where we're supposed to go, which is this
Will
room.
be done.
So Nalia mentioned that in Lady Delcia's room there's a secret passage to the cellars,
What is it?
and that's where we need to go.
Where can I be?
Just going to have Nalia here so that she can do the conversations.
Without doubt.
Do not disturb my duties.
Alright, first we have this Diarnese guard. So Hendron apparently managed to protect Lady Delcia effectively. He barricaded them in there. Yeah, so now they're going to go to safety. I have sworn to protect her, and I have maintained my oath thus far. It is just... Aunties are really pain, huh? Yeah. And basically, if Nalia is not here, he's going to have a slightly different conversation, and he's going to say that he was basically driven on the brink of insanity by that woman. And yeah, here comes Auntie Delcia.
How glad to
Well,
be
if he
of
can unblock the door. He's just going to disappear in a second anyway.
Oh, 'tis like a nightmare. Yet more hooligans tracking their filth through the halls.
Auntie, please! We have come to rescue you!
Nalia? Oh my dear, what have you brought home with you this time?
I have told you about consorting with such creatures. You will only end up like your mother. Apparently that's a story that Nalia has heard 100 times. But yeah, her mother was basically very similar to Nalia, I guess. She would slum as you do, offering charity to those beneath her, and her reward was a pestilence that took her life. Anyway, she seems to be completely oblivious to the real, danger of this whole situation. What dregs have you brought to our home this time? So she would even talk like that about us, her only hope for rescue. Yeah, basically you can direct this conversation in such a way to actually attack her and kill her, but she is classified as an innocent, and that would involve a large reputation penalty, and also Nalia wouldn't be too happy about that kind of outcome. So we are going to exercise our restraint here and basically just try to move on from this situation. Of course, as always, feel free to pause and read her lines for yourself. They are quite outrageous. Here, so Auntie is going to be escorted to safety. Yeah, she mentions Lord Diarnes is still at the mercy of the beasts below. Yeah, apparently Lord Diarnes also has a good heart. So that's why Nalia, I guess, is different than most nobles.
Yes, quickly and precisely. Rather an amusing bit of restraint on your part, and I appreciate that. She's decent enough, but very set in her ways and hard to deal with. Come, we must rescue my father.
Alrighty.
Without hesitation.
So here are the secret passages. One to kind of like a treasury area, and one to the stairs to the cellars.
Always willing to try.
Now when it comes to this area, there's going to be 6 golems and 3 containers here. And basically, if we take some loot from each container, it's going to activate the golems in groups of 2. Also, you can just attack them, like, you know, if I directed my party to attack them like this, you could kill them one by one, because if you attack them directly, the rest of them actually doesn't go hostile, they just remain neutral. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do how it's, or do this whole bit as it's kind of intended to be done, I guess. But I'm just thinking right now a little bit whether I should like refresh my spells now, because there is this iron golem, and that is a fearsome opponent that we're going to have to deal with, and I would like to have some stone skins on Senashira. But I guess we're okay. I'm just going to cast this heal, I guess, on Kiranai, and we're going to get this ring to Jaheira. And well, first I'm going to do an easier group.
Yes, certainly.
We don't really need too many buffs for that. We just can have Jaheira and Anomen. Anomen's okay. Anomen doesn't have his dexterity buff anymore.
Direct me as you will.
But anyway, actually, an interesting thing is that you can get this flail head, and it's not going to trigger anyone to go hostile. The that trigger is tied to this warhammer. Okay, and now we have this flesh golem and this stone golem going hostile. So we have magical weapons to deal with them. They basically can't really do too much to us, although that slow is nasty, and of course all golems pretty much hit like trucks. So actually heal Jaheira right away. Let's not do anything risky. Alright, so that's one of those fights. Now, the middle one is going to activate the Iron Golem. So I think what I'm going to do... you also don't have your armor class buff. So let's get some ghost armor at least. -5 or -5 is going to have to do. And we also have these mirror images, which I'm going to save for the Iron Golem. But yeah, let's do the other fight first. Here we have an awesome axe called Frost Reaver, and this is going to activate a stone golem and a flesh golem as well.
Yes.
So let's get rid of that flesh golem, I think. He's a little bit more dangerous when it comes to his damage dealing capabilities. Right. Oh, I thought he was about to die. Okay, now. Alright. Now for this fight, we are going to summon some stuff. We are going to summon a fire elemental, and we are going to summon this aerial servant, and we're going to buff up. This is going to be the last fight before we rest, I think. So we are going to use our buffs, because this is going to be something. Because you can kind of, like... I'm hesitant to call it, like, you know, a cheesy strategy, but basically the thing with these giant golems, like iron golems and adamantine golems, is that they are too huge to pass through doorways like this one. So basically what you can do is activate them and get to the other side and basically have him in the doorway and use either a long range, kind of like a two-handed weapon. If you position your guy, I think you can be slightly outside of his fist's range that way, or you can use like +3 ammo if you have some from these well, at this point in the game it's generally going to be from the weapons that generate their own ammo with a pretty high enchantment, like for example, I think Sling of is it the Seeking Sling, or was it Sling of Everard? One of these generates the bullets that hit as +5, There's Tancheron's bow, and you know, these types of tools you could just use on the Iron Golem, because Iron Golems, first of all, they require +3 weapons, so we won't even be able to hit this golem too much. We have the 3 heads of the Flail of Ages, but I'm going to assemble that after we are done with this encounter. But that would be a +3 weapon that could help us here. But we have Black Blood on Jaheira, and we have Daystar, which hits as a +4 weapon. We have the Staff of Striking +3 as well, but Senashira is going to use Daystar. And she is going to use this Frost Reaver in her offhand. That's a +3 axe. And Kairanai is going to use this sword, this Flame Tongue. It also hits as a +4 weapon, so it's going to work on the Iron Golem. And I guess Anomen, he could use the Staff of Striking actually, but we'll see about that. I am going to buff him up with that Potion of Agility. Do we still have... no. Let's just rebuff with Protection from Evil. We're also going to buff up with a little scroll of Protection from Poison, because the Iron Golem also has a really nasty poison cloud that it can summon. And Jaheira is going to be using the amulet against poison. Senashira is going to be protected by the green scroll. And Anomen and Kairanai, I guess, are going to be relying on some antidotes once they get poisoned. We're not even going to bother with having Nalia or Edwin be in this fight. I'm just going to perhaps use some of their buffs. Well, you're not going to be useful. Edwin is going to have haste for us. Anyway, Anomen, you can buff yourself up with some holy power. You can buff yourself up with iron skins. So you can get Armor of Faith, and so can Jaheira. You can also get drop on Holy Might. We can get some Bless.
Yes?
Senashira can buff herself up with that protection from poison, and now she can get some mirror images. And Edwin is going to... he actually has spirit armor. Let's use that on Kairanai, actually. And now let's haste everybody.
If you say so.
Alright, and get out of there, Edwin. And here we can get this Elven Cord Bow, which is not even a too good of an item. And first I think we're just going to quickly dispose of this Clay Golem
Speak.
before he can curse us. In SCS, Clay Golems have a curse that prevents any healing or any anything that would increase your hit points, basically. Any regeneration, healing, anything. Alright, so he was completely destroyed. Okay, Anomen is going to just wait for now. And let's just not get too crowded here. And basically, also the thing with the Iron Golem is that it has immense, I think it has like 90% resistance to all types of damage, so we're not going to really be doing hits for like more than around 3 damage, if that. Okay, so here's that Poison Cloud. Okay, 5 damage we are able to do, 4, 3, that kind of thing. Oh, 6 even. An Aerial Servant is able to do some damage as well. Okay, that was actually really easy. We didn't even get poisoned on anyone. Alright, so as always, of course, I hyped up an opponent and it turned out to be an easy encounter, but you have to believe me that that Iron Golem, if you're not prepared for it, it can be pretty nasty. And now we're just going to switch our weapons a little bit. And since we still have our buffs active, I am going to clear a little bit of the rooms beneath us here. And let's just keep going. Okay, we have a Spectral Troll. That spectral troll is really resilient. Okay, finally. And here, what we're going to do... Can you stealth? You actually were able to get stealth. So we're going to open this door, and we're going to stealth in. And so here are the Umber Hulks, and that were mentioned a couple of times, these tunneling beasts, that were able to basically dig a tunnel and allow the invaders to also attack from beneath the keep, which is a pretty nasty situation, really, if you think about it. Anyway, we can actually throw them a little cloud kill, because they are low enough level. Umber Hulks are actually one of the enemies that just die to cloud kill if they fail their save. I think they have a chance of actually saving against that. Yeah, one of them saved, but they're just going to stay in there and die in the cloud kill. And that's all you need to do. You don't need to, you know, damn your soul to hell by killing some innocent doggies. But you can just use a little cloud kill. Okay, and now our buffs are expiring, so we can just loot some stuff in the meantime. Here is our trusty shield amulet that we have used so much in Baldur's Gate 1. Senashira, of course, relied on that shield amulet for a long time in Baldur's Gate 1 for her armor class boosts. And now we have it again, and it has 42 charges. It's pretty useful. Still, even in Baldur's Gate 2. A lot of good ammo. And we can't really identify any of these. But that's okay. Nalia can keep those. Alright, and I think what we're going to do is I'm going to wait out this cloud kill in between episodes. And the next episode we're going to start, once this cloud kill is gone, of course, we're going to rest and then prepare for the final encounter, which is right around the corner in that chamber over there. So, I thank you for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.